Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday, January 12th. This is Hugo Santos coming at you live from Apex 1 in Westfield, New Jersey. Getting you guys ready to watch some action for week 4 of our Radical SR10 League. We have a couple people not able to show today. It is currently at peak flu season. I know I've had a few people in my office taking some days off. So be safe out there. Get vaccinated if you haven't. If you choose not to, then be safe. Wear a mask if needed, and let's go watch some racing. So tonight we are racing at Palmer Motorsports Park. There's 2 configurations to it. You can either go counterclockwise or you could go clockwise. Our fellow racers tonight are going clockwise. So I hope you guys find tonight entertaining. I am going to I'm going to make sure that I have the chat on my side just to make sure that everything's coming up right. James O'Brien Sim Racing, welcome to the stream. He says in the comment section, the Hugo, in all caps. I appreciate it. You are too kind, James O'Brien. That's a good friend of mine. We are preparing to do the 24 Hours Daytona with our own little team we put together, along with a couple other people here at Apex 1. All right, I'm sorry. Let me get back into the actual content. I'm going to go over some of the drivers that are here tonight. Let's go in order from standing so far. So in first place right now, we have Victor Mendez Polanco, who set a 122.9 so far. Actually, yeah, before we get into everyone else, let me just go over how we're doing it tonight. Let me see. So, before I even go over that, James asks, oh, yeah, that's right. We are preparing to win Daytona, not even just participate. We're there to win. Thank you, James. You're right. You're right. How could I under lowball us like that? Dave is currently not screaming yet. They only just started, so I don't think any of them are stressed out yet. I'm anticipating some arguments to happen mid-race 1 and at the end of race 2, but no screaming yet. So we'll start off going from the top of the order right now in qualifying with 12 minutes to go. We've got Victor Mendez Polanco with a 122.9 running soft tires. If you see this Audi symbol, please ignore it because that is not actually the case. We have a couple customers here really quick. I will be right back. Just 1 second, folks. There was a customer paying for their party tonight. They paid successfully, and now we have Elian able to join the race tonight. I was worried he wasn't going to come, so I didn't even put his sim on. How dare I? I'm so disrespectful. I'm going to make sure I get him on, and then I'm going to go down the rest of the order because I know there's a special someone that Steven would like to shout out, one of our fellow awesome racers, Steven Cortapassi. Cortapassi. I like to say Cortapassi. He brings out his Italian a lot during these races. He gets very emotional in all the right ways. Maybe you'll overhear it from my microphone. Let's take a look. Let's go see. Elian is going to be racing with us tonight. on C2. It's just the naming convention for our sims. Oh, he's already on. We're good. All right. I gave too many introductions to Victor. Let's keep going down the order. Victor did improve, though, to a 122 flat. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he gets to the 21s. That's an awesome time. I think this is David DeLeon's first time trying this track out. A lot of the people that are participating in this league, they like to check it out. They like to come early and practice the league before the league race day. So David is usually one of them. He'll go maybe run 5-10 laps. He's like, all right, I'm good. Or he doesn't even do it at all. He's just naturally that quick. He's running a 23 flat right now in P2, so that's a good start for him so far. Also part of our little makeshift Daytona 24 team. In P3, we have our captain of the ship of Apex One's Mighty Mayflower. We have Seamus Dick running a 124.1. I mean, you can't run any faster if your car's in the pits, you know what I mean? So hopefully he gets some more laps in. I think he was just helping Elian get settled on his sim. So what a classy guy. Helping out the community before the race starts. What a guy. And then we got the man of the hour. We got Steven da Cortapassi coming in P4 right now with a 124.3 running the softs. And I took a note down. He mentioned to me that his speedy son James, a.k.a. Lightning McQueen, was here previously, and they had a ball at Apex One Racing. So Steven wanted to give a shout-out to James. So a shout-out to James. If you're watching the stream tonight, wish your dad good luck. He was doing really good last week. There was a couple collisions, but I don't think they were his fault. So I think he's going to do pretty well tonight. So I'll try to get him some screen time for you so that you could cheer him on in his silver blue livery here. Yes. So good luck to you, Steven. I had a little quick convo with our head honcho just to make sure that everyone has a good racing experience. If you know what Discord is, we use Discord here at Apex One so that when people are racing with each other, they can hear each other on the mics and they could talk their smack with each other. But it's also kind of distracting our league racers tonight. So I'm just going to kick everyone out of Discord, and then we're going to continue down the qualifying line and introduce the rest of our drivers. And I will update you on any changes that I see. Let me check if anyone in the chat is talking. Oh my God. So I'm so sorry, guys. There's so many people in the chat. Let's see, Henry, I think that's another fellow driver on our Daytona team this weekend. What's going on, Henry? Welcome to the stream. He wants to see Carnage into T1. You're so evil. We need to see a good turn one where everyone's tight, but nothing crazy. But you want Carnage. You know what? Everyone wants something different. I respect it. And James also says, Elian on David Crime. Oh my gosh. To anyone watching right now, if you didn't watch last week's race, there was a very impatient Elliott going around the track due to some early collisions that brought him down the leaderboard, and there was some accidental contact between Elliott and David last week. So there is a heated rivalry going on in the standings for this league. I think with last week's results, I think David did overtake Elian by about 20 points on the leaderboards, but we still have tonight's couple races, fastest laps, and next week to see if the leaderboards will be shaken up. But yeah, at the moment, David DeLeon is P1 in the standings. Anyways, let's continue. We've been watching the legendary Steven Cortapassi. Let's go take a look at Brian Hoovelman here, running a 24.9 in the mediums. I will say, whether you're running the softs or the mediums, you can get pretty similar times. I don't know if the tire compound mod is working very well today or at least on these radicals in general. But yeah, yeah, James, I'm sorry. Yeah, the shadows are pretty horrific. It is a little bit dark. Maybe in a couple seconds after I go announce the rest of the order, maybe I could see if I could brighten it up some. I will see if I could lighten it for you guys. I'm sorry about that. So we got Brian here in P5 running the 24.9. Let's go see P6. P6, we have Matthew Torres, one of the newer league racers here at Apex One, running a 32.2 on the mediums. And right behind him, his good friend Tyler Lopez, just 8/10 behind him, running a 133 flat on the mediums. So last but not least, we got Elian. He and David have been going back and forth between getting first and second place. Like, it's been crazy this whole season so far. So I wouldn't be surprised if he puts in a solid time at the start. If not, he's got the pace to get into the upper half and podium during the race. So we'll keep an eye on him to see what laps he sets. Javi, I don't believe he's here. I might have to maybe I'll take him out for now because I don't see him. Maybe he will not be here today. So let's take him out. And front desk guy, that's the one and only desk guy. That is me. Yeah, that's me. Don't worry, though. I won't be racing with my little Xbox controller up front here. So, unfortunately, I can't show you guys some mega Xbox controller crashes. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, with the darkness, it is looking like LMU a bit, James. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I also just like to hate on LMU in general because it's not iRacing, but let me not. Let's see. Henry says it sounds like Elian's going to get his get back this race. Oh, he's looking for it. He's looking for it, Henry. He's definitely has the pace to do it. He thinks this track is crazy per previous conversation as he runs a 25-1 on his first clean lap out. Rob's World says Victor's freaking fast. Holy smokes! He may be catching up to me. Me as in like actually me, Hugo. Listen, I'm happy to see that people are getting faster. We were doing a practice session here last week with Victor and I, and we were running like identical times. Like he may have beat the time that we were setting last time for all I know. Like everyone here is getting so much faster. I personally don't think I'm like an alien. There's people that say otherwise, but I think Victor is slowly becoming an alien himself. So he could be faster than me, and I'll be proud of him. That's all I'm saying. Let's keep looking at other people's angles. I know Victor's rapid. David's hitting the 22s now to 22.9. That's good. Seamus and Steven right behind each other with a 24.1. On the mediums with Seamus, that's impressive. Not on the softs. Steven's on the softs, and he's 2/10 slower, but he's, I think they're still learning the track. Okay. While we have a minute and a half left to go, let me pray to the Apex One and sim racing gods that my stream stays up as I try to modify this video quality. All right, I have changed my filter to the default bright, but it still looks dark. What are we thinking, guys? I think it's still a little too dark. Let's try natural. Let's see what natural looks like. A lot of shadow going on. I would love to disable. Maybe can I just disable shadow? Let me see. I see shadow resolution. That's not the thing though. I want to just disable the shadow. Let's see. Oh, it's Rob Loco. You got it. Victor was just coming up to get his phone, and he was telling me that he was ashamed because he almost got a 21, and he botched a lap. So 21s are definitely there. Victor's looking like the fastest guy to beat. What else do we got? The Honeydew thinks it's going too hard, So, dang, I probably saw it too late. So I don't know what was too hard, but maybe the driving was going a little too hard from what we were seeing from that driver at the time. Zane is I. Yes, you are. Honeydew carts a certain kind of boys. That's good. That's nice. Good for you, Honeydew. Let me see if... Okay. Rob suggests that I try turning up the exposure on OBS. Can I do it while the stream is live? Let me take a look. Exposure. Filters. Uh-oh. This is how you know I am not a pro streamer. I tried streaming myself in the past. What happened? Okay. All right. The guys are in the pits, so that's not good. So we're going to make sure that that's fixed. Let's go restart their session. Let's restart this race. And I think that should do it. Okay. Yeah, I think some of the server settings are forcing them to get on the track before they could rechange their setups. But I think that's good now. Turn up the exposure on OBS. Let me see. How to turn up exposure on OBS. Yeah, I'm literally looking at Google right now. When you use the configure video button in the video capture device source properties, calls the camera's crossbar. Let's see. Sorry guys, 1 second. I'm just I'm gonna see if I can improve the darkness, make it a little brighter for you guys to see. Ooh, I can make it saturated. That's fun. I wonder if you guys are seeing the saturation live. That'd be fun. Okay, I'm going to turn the contrast up. All right. I think I'm going to keep it at that for now. Chat, what do we think? I think this is very, very colorful, but maybe a little brighter. We'll have to keep an eye when the driving actually happens and they actually get through more shadows. Let me know what you guys think as we prepare for race 1 of 2 here for week 4. It is what it is. Can still see them. A lot better. Much better. Oh, heck yeah. Awesome. Good to hear. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the feedback. That's very helpful. And I appreciate you guys chatting it up. I'm so happy to see you guys on stream. All right. With that underway, let's see. We got P1 is going to be Victor. P2 will be David. Oh, let me click on everyone. Victor's P1 in the red. P2 will be David in another red car. I guess we're limited on the color options for our liveries, guys. So I'm very sorry. P3, we have Elian rocking the orange livery. We got Apex 1's head honcho, Seamus Dick in P4. James, if you're out there, your father is starting in the middle of the pack in P5, but I believe Seamus, and Brian are going to have a crazy battle today. So I will try to show you his work of art as he tears up this track. In P6, we got Brian Hoovelman, who did a really impressive job on race 2 last week. And then we round up the bottom 2 with Tyler and Matthew. I think this track is something that not a lot of people really know here. So I think this could be a race that I don't even know how the final results are going to be. Victor's just really fast. So we got 10 seconds left to go. The red lights are about to go off. And it's lights out, and away we go. I'm going to put my silly little car in the pits as I put it on Brian to watch the star here. Going into turn 1. It looks like everyone's keeping it clean. Side by side goes David and Victor, though. Let's keep it back on Brian. is Tyler and Tyler and Matthew in the back battling it out. Got Steven going a little wide, but it looks like everyone's surviving. Elian sticks P3. Seamus is still around the outside, which gives Steven a little more speed on the inside. Stays just neck and neck with Seamus as we go ahead and get into one of the many long left and right, I guess we're calling these hairpins? Oh yeah. There's a lot going on. So Victor maintains P1, going through 2/3 of the lap. David only half a second behind, with Elian just a second behind them. Seamus, Steven, and Brian all have a train right behind Elian, as Tyler and Matthew are having a battle here for P7. Tyler able to get ahead, but he gets a little on the grass. That messes up his exit going into the final turn. But it looks like they're going to stay still, stay in the same positions. Let's check on David and Victor. David goes a little deep, but he misses the wall, just gets off the grass, and he's alive. He's probably sweating bullets and thanking the heavenly gods, sim racing gods, that he's okay. Seamus and Elian are keeping it close. So we got Steven and Matthew close behind each other. So we have a pretty even train going on between all our drivers right now. 3 and 4 are still a little on the tight. Yeah, Elian and Seamus are still a little tight on each other. They're probably the closest differential to each other. So maybe we'll keep it up on them for now. Maybe I should have tried to make sure that I had the full real-time show. Let's see if I can have that happen. I'll keep my eyes on the map, make sure that anyone getting closer, I'll keep an eye on that. Let's see. I would just like to update this. Let me see if I can update this to show something else. Gaps. Yes, we'll go by gaps. Info always visible. Yes. All right. I actually don't know why. Only 3 are showing this whole time. So I'm going to I'm going to take a look at my live timing. Oh, but that does show an actual gap, actually. Not bad. Meanwhile, Victor and David's times are getting a little invisible for me here. Hopefully that fixes up. They're currently about, looks like 0.8 of a second off of each other. I'm going down. And it's not showing. Oh, man. GSP1428 says, "Hola, Earthlings. Hello, Racecyclopedia Philip." That's Philip in the chat, who typically does most of our live stream conversations and gives us all the knowledge on anything motorsports related, because he knows pretty much anything you can think of with cars. Welcome to the stream, Philip. How are you doing? I hope you guys are all doing well. Matthew and Tyler are having a pretty good battle here. I think we're going to keep it on them, as Matthew goes on the inside and overtakes Tyler going into the long final left. Good move, Matthew. Nice. You guys are having a good fight. Let's see. Everyone else is starting to get in the groove, figure out the track. Everyone's spacing out a little bit, but everyone's running slightly different times. So I'm actually going to just keep it on Tyler and Matthew here a while, provide us with some entertainment, and that is not what I meant to do. Let's go see if there's a cinematic camera. As you can see below the track, I am giving you guys a world-class view here. So actually, let me move away and keep it like this, because I guess the cameras were not set on this track, as there's a little tussle between Matthew and Tyler, but no harm, no foul. Everyone stays alive on track, having a nice battle left and right as Matthew overtakes Tyler going into this looks like the second long left of the track. I wish I remembered the turn numbers, but bear with me as we go into the next hairpin. Both running a little wide, but running at the same pace. Let me check. Let's check on everyone's times right now. While I'll keep it on Matthew and Tyler right now because their battle's looking really good. So current standings as we have right now, we have Victor in P1. His last lap was a 22.5, and that is currently the best lap of the race. David is shortly behind him, 2 seconds behind. His last lap was a 23.4, and his best lap was a 23 flat. So his best lap is roughly half a second behind Victor. Elian is running a 23.3 on his last lap, with his best being a 23.1. So David and Elian are running basically identical best laps, which is crazy to see. They've been like neck and neck. I don't know what Victor was eating or drinking before this session, but he is going crazy, half a second quicker right now. I don't know if anything's going to change. Everyone's still probably learning the track as they're going. Let's keep going. Let's see. We got Seamus in P4 running a 24.1 on his last lap, and his best lap was only 0.2 faster with a 23.9. So roughly 0.8 off the P2 and 3, but that's still a solid time. I think everyone, the fact everyone's under a 1:30, I think that's really good, since I don't think any of us here have ever heard of this track before. It's a good job, you guys. And I see Steven running, let's see, his last lap was a 24.6, a 1 minute 24.6, and his best lap is a 24.2. So he's only 0.3 behind Seamus's best lap as he crosses the line, as Steven crosses the line with the 24.7. So I think everyone's getting in the groove, still learning the track. I think this first race, they should be learning the track. There's not really a lot of braking references, so it's really hard to find what your braking references are. There's very crazy winding elevation turns like this crazy right-left snake here. It was really hard for me to get down. I think there's lots of time to get here. Anyways, let's continue down the order. We got Brian running a 26.3 in P6. His best lap was about a second and change faster to 25.1 so far. So that's in P6. Then in P7 and P8, we got both Matthew and Tyler. Tyler's last lap was his best lap at a 125.8, which is about 0.8 faster than Matthew's best and last lap, which was a 26.6. So there may have been some slips early on. That might have been why the gap is currently at about, I can't tell. I'm going to estimate about 10 seconds here. Let's see. Elian is staying on David's tail here, not running too far away, only less than a second off. Says about 0.8, so it's getting pretty close there. Philip says he's enjoying the live stream with the man of the people. Oh, he's calling me the man of the people, and he's calling me a juggernaut. That is I. Thank you, Philip. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate you. And he's also watching some foosball. That's pretty cool, unless it's football. Whether it's foosball or football, it's sports either way, and awesome either way. I'm actually going to see if I can update this live timing. Maybe, let's go, what's my config here? There we go. Oh, there we go. I think that's better. So we got our progress here. Oh, that's cool. We got progress. Okay, there we go, guys. Guys, I got the gaps. We are so back. And intervals. If anyone's still watching, if you could tell me if you prefer seeing the gaps between each, when I put on the gaps mode, this means that it'll give me the second differential, the time differential in seconds from the driver to the person in first. So like, for example, if I click on Tyler, he's 44.5 seconds behind first place, and Steven is about 12 seconds off from P1. Or would you rather it shown in gaps? Or in intervals, where you can see the interval between each driver. So for example, Elian is only 0.7 behind David, but David is 3.5 seconds behind Victor. Let me know what you guys prefer. I might keep it on interval for now, just so I can, it's easier for me to track who's the closest between each other, so I can make sure that the action is always going on. So I'm going to keep it on Ellian and David for a bit, since he's only 0.6 away. I just want to say thank you guys again for joining the stream tonight. I appreciate you guys coming out for week 4 of this league here. Ellian's making sure that David is feeling the pressure here, only roughly half a second off. Let's see, we got Steven and Seamus not too far away from each other either, only 2.5 seconds off from each other. Maybe this could, maybe something can be cooked up here. We've got 14 minutes left in this race, so there's still a lot of race to go for the first race. And this is only race 1 of 2, folks. So if you're just joining us for the first time, I can explain how these races go. So before the races start, before qualifying starts, we have our practice session. So the drivers can come in early and practice the track, get used to it before our 20-minute qualifying session. That usually starts at 8 o'clock. It started a little later today because we had a birthday party happen. So I hope everyone that was part of the birthday had a really fun time. So we'll have a 20-minute qualifier. And then between the qualifying and the races, and between each race, there should be a 3.5 second break so that people can use the bathroom, get a drink, talk about maybe some incidents that are happening as Ellian is still keeping it tight with David here. And then afterward, 2 races will happen. So each race will be 25 minutes long, as this one is, with 12 minutes and 55 seconds to go. The name of the game is just to try to finish as far ahead as you can. And if that's not possible and you're maybe running a little slower than the average Joe, the second race that happens after the first is reverse grid. So if you don't know what that is, let's say the order stays the same right now. We have Victor here in P1, David P2, and Ellie in P3. If this order stays the same, going into race 2, we'll have Victor in P8 instead, David P7, Ellie in P6, and so on and so forth. So it's like opposite day. The grid's opposite day, and everyone's first race position will just be flipped. So if this stands, then Tyler will be P1, Matthew will be P2, and Brian will be P3. All right. So let's see. Keeping live gaps between positions works. What are the points when you get a chance, good sir? Good questions, Philip. I will keep it on this interval. I'd love to show you guys it live. I need to practice having multiple displays at once during my stream, but for now, I can give a rundown on what our positions are looking like right now. Before penalties are applied, I still have not applied, I want to apply the penalties from last race because there were some errors that happened that I do want to know that I think do affect the standings. So, I mean, the rest of the season I haven't. Maybe I'll think about it. But right now, as it stands, after race 3's results, we have, from top to bottom, David in P1 with 175 points, Elian Gonzalez in P2 with 155 points. So they're only 20 points off from each other. Victor Mendez Polanco with 112 points. They are the 3 drivers with 100 points at least this season so far. So with some good results tonight, Victor's going to be climbing up a little more. He's got a lot of pace on him. Oh, excuse me, guys. Very sorry about that. I just had to sneeze. Anyways, in P4, we have Steven Cortopassi with 81 points, but only 2 points behind him is Seamus. Like I said, they've been going back and forth all season. Only 2 points behind each other for the fight for P4 in the standings. In P6, we have Tyler Lopez with 44, with his friend close behind with only 42 points. So it's only a 2-point deficit there. And Brian's actually tied with Matthew. So there's a 3-way fight going for P6 right now. Shane Edwards, I'm going to have to change that name. Unfortunately, after some unfortunate circumstances during the first couple races, Shane is not participating in the league anymore. So we have the wonderful GSP in the chat coming in to fill in the shoes. Shane currently has 27 points, but I don't think the algorithm is accounting for your finishes because I have your name. So I'm going to update Shane's name to be your name. And see if that changes anything. And then we have Javi Swabi in P10 with 9 points. So those are how the standings are looking up for this league so far. There's still the end of this race to give some points, and then race 2 will add some other points. And then next week will be the final week of this Radical 10 SR10 league, or R10. Oh my gosh. The last race of the season is going to be at Watkins Glen Short. And Victor was talking to me earlier saying he's really pumped for that race to happen. So it should be a good track to close out the season. So I hope that answers your question there, Phil. That is the current standings on the league as we have it before this race is accounted for. All right, let's see how everyone's doing so far. Let me get some live timing updates. If you want to have a fun fact right now, the person that has hit the top speed on the track so far is Victor. You would think that the person in P1 would have the fastest time or in the highest top speed, but sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes each driver's setup actually changes, so maybe they have higher top speed, but their cornering is a lot slower, and that could impact their driving position. But Victor has the fastest top speed with 256 kilometers an hour. For our American viewers, which is, I'm assuming, the majority of you, if you want to know what 256 kilometers an hour is in miles per hour, that's approximately 159 miles an hour. So 159 miles an hour is the top speed we've got going on right now. And as we have about seven-ish minutes remaining, let's go take a look at any updates on the lap times. We've got Victor still in P1 with a 22.4. No one's contesting him at the moment. David is roughly 6 seconds behind, and he was able to gap Elian a little bit, as I'm seeing a 2.5 second gap with him. David running a 23.5 on his last lap, but his best has improved to a 22.8. So about 4 to 5 tenths off of Victor's best lap, so not that far off. And Elian's even closer to his best lap with a 23.5 on his last lap, but his best is 22.6. So top three are learning the track as they go. They're getting their fastest lap times dialed in. We got Seamus here in P4 with his best lap being a 23.7 and his last lap being a 24.7. So that'll be P4. With Steven not too far behind, he's got a 7-second gap with Seamus, running a 25.2 on his last lap, and his best lap time is a 24.2. So that would put him 5th fastest overall, if we're going by best lap. In P6, we have Matthew Torres running a 26.8, only 2 tenths off his best lap. And oh no, Elian collides with the wall. He may have had some crazy over-understeer on the turn. It says crash with the environment on my screen here. So that gives Seamus a free position up into the podiums in P3. Let's see if Elian has enough time to catch back up. As Steven might try to have an opportunity to try to catch up to Elian, maybe take away a P4 from him. Oh, I didn't even notice this, but Brian got ahead. Matthew got ahead of Brian. So Matthews here is in P6 with his best time being a 26.6. Brian's best time tonight was a 25.1, but his last lap was a 26.1. So the lap times have been inconsistent. It's like it's one thing to see it. It's one thing to see it on on stream. As we see Victor coming up on some back traffic. Let's see if Tyler will adhere to the blue flags here and see if he'll give Victor an easy time to get past. Philip says it's the closest that he'll ever be to being a fast race car driver who can hit a golf ball too. Oh man, you guys just got to have some more confidence in yourselves. That's it. Looks like we've got Tyler contesting pretty tight, but not hitting each other, which is good. If you do have the blue flags, we do encourage everyone. If it should be, what's a better word than encourage? We really would like to have everyone just, when time permits, to just let off the throttle on a straightaway or on a turn or straightaway that's safe to allow the faster traffic through. So if you do have the blue flag, if you're ever go-karting or if you're ever sim racing or racing in real life, if you're given a blue flag from one of the stewards, that's telling you, like, hey, there's some faster people coming up that are higher positioned that would like to get through you cleanly. Please move over when space allows to allow the faster traffic through so that no race is impeded. Everyone's race results are not, I don't know, intruded on by some little blue flag shenanigans, as David looks like he's approaching a blue flag too. As Philip said there in the chat, that lap traffic about to play a role. We'll see if, let's see, who is this, Tyler? Yeah. We'll see if this affects Tyler affects David's times here and affects him getting through. I don't know if he has enough pace in this race at least to catch up to Victor, unless Victor has a huge crash. Anything is possible. But as far as I'm seeing, looks like he is going to take the lead here. I'm seeing my live timings with 1.5 minutes to go. Even though on my screen there's 3 minutes left, that might, maybe there's like a final lap everyone has to do. I'll see when we get there. Looks like Tyler's not letting up. He's trying to drive as fast as he can. Is David, it looks like he really just wants to get around. Looks like he feels like his car's got a lot more pace around this section. Going around the outside, but that outside is just so wide there. He just can't get the space, can't get the speed to get around him there. As it looks like he might try to contest to get into passing him on turn 1 or on this straightaway. David looks like he's able to get past Tyler no problem on that first straightaway. Heading into the next lap, and he gets past Cooley. Nice pass there, David. And thank you, Tyler, for being a little more predictable. It would be nice if you had just let off the throttle on the straightaway to let him by, but no crashes happened. I am happy about that. Good job. Anything else going on here? Let's see. Seamus is roughly 12 seconds behind David. Elian is gaining on Seamus, I believe. He's got 4 seconds left on him. Let's see if that's enough. If Seamus can have a huge bin, Elian has a chance to get back into the podium there. Got Steven here at P5. Losing a bit of time on Elian, but only 5 seconds, a little less than 5 seconds back from him. So Steven's doing a good job tonight. Let's see. I want to see what his best time is right now. It's 24.2. That would put him, it still puts him 5th fastest overall. So keep it up, Steven. Got Matthew here in P6. Running 4/10 off his best lap just now. Brian in P7, and we got Tyler rounding out the rest of the grid here. Got 1 minute left in the race here. I think everyone might be wrapping up their races very soon. So, Victor, if all stays according to plan, Brian's only a second off from Matthew. Actually, this could maybe something could cook here as he gets a little bit into the grass. Let's see, what do we do? Let's get on board with him as he gets into one of the last few hairpins, the third to last hairpin. Onto that left. There's going to be a long sweeping left. You do want to get off the throttle a little bit, as he does. That's a great job. And there's 2 more really big hairpins going on with this right. It feels like on the track map, it looks really small and tight, but it's actually not. It's pretty insane. They're a lot longer. Like this turn, for example, it's like a long left into a tighter hairpin, as that rounds out the last hairpin of the lap. And Brian and Matthew are going to be crossing the line with Victor just behind Brian here. Leader is currently on the final lap, and just like that, Victor finishes the race in P1 with little to no difficulty, with the fastest top speed at 256 kilometers an hour, or 159 miles per hour for you fellow Bald Eagle listeners. from the great old USA. His fastest lap time was a 22.3. And I'm looking at everyone else, and he has the fastest lap time for the first race, so that's an extra point for Victor. Congrats to Victor there. Seamus finishes third. David finishes second. Elian finishes in fourth. Steven crosses the line in P5. That's a solid result for him there. For the second race, he will be starting in P4. Matthew is going to be coming close to finishing up. Just a few more hairpins to go. But Brian is still only less than a second behind. Let's see if Brian could do anything here over the last hairpin, or not, folks. I'm sorry to say that the race is just wrapped up. All right, everyone. That concludes race one. I just had to talk to Seamus to input our leaderboard here at Apex 1 so drivers can see what their lap times were. We are heading into race two with 2 minutes and a half to go. Everyone fist bumping each other. Good vibes going. No crazy collisions happening today. These past couple weeks have had some pretty insane wrecks, pretty insane rivalries and battles going on. I think this has been the most safe that these drivers have been. So hats off to everyone tonight for driving clean, driving together. As we start race two in 2 minutes. So now that we have reverse grid order, we're gonna see, actually, reverse grid doesn't show properly here because the leaderboard doesn't update properly until after they start driving. So how it's supposed to go is Tyler's supposed to be our front runner in P1, Brian in P2, Matthew P3, Steven P4, Elian P5, Seamus in P6, David and Victor round out P7 and 8 respectively. Respectively. I'm sorry, guys. This start of the race, too, is going to be something. Yes, it is, Phil. I agree. I think every reverse grid starts really nuts. Just because it's reverse grid, you have the slower drivers up front and faster guys in the back. Usually what happens is the faster guys end up progressing to get past the people up front because it's the guys that have these slower lap times. But anything could happen. Maybe some people that were in the back are just sandbagging because they want to have a better opportunity in race two to be ahead and stay ahead. We'll see what happens, folks. We got 1 minute left to go until the race starts. I think some people are finalizing some of their setups. Some people are finishing using the restroom, getting the water, getting the race start jitters out of the way. Got 50 seconds left on the grid here. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream tonight. If this is your first time watching our league, thank you so much for joining, guys. If you'd like to watch some more racing action, we also host endurance races that we like to stream too. And we'll be hosting more leagues in the future. So if you can, just leave a like on the video and subscribe to us to keep up to date and watch our future live streams. I'm going to try to add some extra overlays in the future. Maybe not for this season, but if I have the time to broadcast next season, I'm going to see if I could add some nice overlays. All right, guys, we got green button. As we had red lights, green light, and away we go. I'm going to bring it back. Let's see if I could get a wider camera here. Let's start, we're going to follow Matthew here. is now we have the leaderboards properly shown. And what do we have? Elian already in P1? Oh, yeah. I think he was in the middle of the pack. Victor is closing in on Steven. Coming into turn like 3, it seems. And overtakes Steven. Steven's going to feel a lot of pressure behind with David and Seamus, Brian, and Matthew fighting as Matthew overtakes Brian going into the left hairpin. Oh, there's a lot. Let's see. We got Seamus slow right behind David. David approaching Steven. Trying to get a feel for him on the outside there, but can't stick it out. Has to get off the throttle. Steven stays P3. As Victor slowly starts to close in on Elian. Maybe not slowly, kind of rapidly. Victor's time's going absolutely insane tonight. Let's see. Let's keep it on David here, as he's only 2/10 off of Steven. A long winding turn. Like there's a long left before a tight left. It's a very hard turn to do. And it looks like David really wanted to get some more exit speed there, but Steven's line was in front of him. David had nowhere else to go there. As he gets a little draft off Steven, going into turn 1, they're going side by side. David brakes just later than Steven, as maybe Steven tries to find the switchback, and Steven gets the switchback, but runs a little wide into David, but everyone's okay. As Steven has that nice overtake on David there. Like I said, it may have run a little wide, but that's some hard racing we're seeing as Seamus gets heavy on the brakes, stays right behind David there. Victor also only 2/10 behind. We're just going to keep it on this battle for P3 right now with Steven, David, and Seamus on the train here. Some good racing going on at the beginning of race 2, guys. This is awesome. Keep it up, guys. David really wanting to exit a lot sooner, get on the throttle way sooner than Steven there. But Steven's got the space for himself. David is forced to stay behind him. Having some good defensive battles here. All right. Oh no, Steven gets a little bit on the grass, but he does have the inside. David runs a little too deep, and that... Oh, I was going to say, if Seamus was a little closer, he might have been able to capitalize. David trying to hold as much top speed as he can going into the straightaway. As Victor and Elian are going side by side too. I don't know who to watch, guys. Victor overtakes Elian, but it's not fully stuck. They're still technically side by side. And it looks like, no, I was going to say they're still side by side. I mean, look at Elian's tire there. It's still side by side. Elian doesn't want to give up P1 as he understeers into Victor. It's a little racing incident there. I don't see any huge issue. They're still side by side. David right behind Steven too, which gets Seamus up into the fight with them too. Battle for P1 and a battle for P3 going on. There's a lot of action going on at the beginning of race 2 here, guys. Oh my goodness. Let's keep it on... Keep it on Victor here. Let's see how he's taking his lines. It's a little on the throttle, playing with the throttle, try to get the car to turn a little more. Right on Elian's exhaust pipe. Oh man, David is on Steven's exhaust pipe too. Everyone's getting tight on each other. They're saying, please, please make way for me. David gets a little heavy on the curb. I didn't realize how tall that curb was. That upset his car a little bit, but he's doing okay. Steven gets to pull away a little bit thanks to that, as Seamus sets his fastest lap with a 23.9 in race 2. Victor only half a second behind Elian. Looks like Elian is he's beginning to understand it now. If you understand the meme, that's what's going on right now. He's understanding it now. David and Steven are going to go side by side here, going into the first hairpin right on the track. But Steven doesn't want to give it up. David is giggling, but that's the kind of giggling that you make when you're having a crazy, tough, tight battle and your opponent's not letting you through, but no one's racing dirty. That's the kind of giggling I like to hear. So I know we were talking about David possibly having his voice a little higher than average, but it's not looking like it today as he goes side by side with Steven with the little bump, but I don't know if the bump really impacts too much as he overtakes Steven and gets into P3. Steven's going to be really fighting hard to get that position back, maybe try to get a good exit as we approach the final 2 turns here, going into the straightaway into turn 1. Victor close behind Elian still. Let's see what happens going to turn 1 with this train. Let's keep it on Steven for now. Steven stays a lot tighter than David. Let's see if that gets him the better exit. Everyone running some really good lap times right now. Matthews looks like he's just overtaken Brian going into P6. Matthews understanding it now too. Seamus gets really tight on Steven. This train for 3. There's a nice train for 3 here. Let's see. Philip says in the chat, a little bit of argy-bargy between Victor and the Aura, as Calvin Fish would say. Scordo, Steven, a.k.a. Steven, pulling his best Fred Alonso. Race Cyclopedia Phil coming in with the awesome racing references. Unfortunately for me, I am not the type to understand all of these references, but I can appreciate someone that has such a deep knowledge for racing facts as he does. As Seamus gets a better run on Steven going into for the fight for P4. Steven closes the door on him, though. Doesn't give Seamus the opportunity to pass there. And Steven keeps it tight so that he can get a good exit here going into the last couple turns before the main straight. As it looks like Victor and Elian are tight on each other for turn 1. Victor really looked like he really wanted to send it into turn 1 there, but Elian said no. Tried it. I'm not letting you do that. And I think Victor knew that that gap was going to close. So Elian stays P1, Victor in P2. Even in the back of the pack here, Brian is keeping it tight against Matthew here. He just got overtaken, and oh, I'm hearing some stuff in the background here as Victor overtakes Elian for P1. Everyone's going through some battles here. I'm trying to get all the action here, you guys. As Brian has a nice overtake on Matthew going down the inside. If he wants to keep that position, he should hold down that inside, which he does. Brian sticks P6. Good overtake on Brian. Matthew and Brian are having an awesome fight right now. Elian and Victor, everyone here is having an awesome fight right now. Elian only 3/10 away from Victor, going back and forth. There's been a couple lead changes this race compared to last race, so I would like to thank Seamus for encouraging the reverse grid format for race 2, because I appreciate this nice racing that we're having for race 2. This gap here is staying tight. We've got P4 and 5 still staying tight, but Steve looks like he's starting to pull a gap on Seamus. I don't think Elian's going to try to make a move here. He breaks a little late and understeers, so he can't get a better exit than Victor going into turn 1. So Elian's going to need to start focusing to just put down some consistent laps. Don't worry about Victor. You just put some laps down as Brian puts his personal best of the day at a 24... Did I just say 24.9? What did I see? A 24.9. Awesome job, Brian. Nice lap. All right. I was going to start running down the order, seeing what everyone's doing. Let's get a different camera angle. I know we've had this angle for quite a bit. Let's get a hood view. Yeah, let's stay on the hood for a little bit. Get closer on the action and the road. GSP says multiple great battles and awesome camera work, sir. Philip, thank you so much for watching tonight, sir. I hope you feel better, and I appreciate the compliments. The battles for race 2 have been really good. I agree with you. They have been really good. Elian's only 3/10 off. He's keeping it up with Victor. And per my testing, I think if you're 3/10 or less behind a Radical, you're going to get a little slipstream. So the name of the game is to try to stay tight as Elian gets really close down into the turn 1 braking zone. He's probably thinking to himself, come on, Victor, why are you speeding up? Yeah, you made me over slow. Let me get P1 from you here. Victor goes a little too wide. as he gets overtaken by Elian for P1. Another lead change. This is probably like the third lead change of the race. Seamus not too far behind Steven. David just trying to set his, get consistent laps. Maybe he's thinking to himself, man, I hope Elian and Victor fight a little harder than this because I want you guys to slow down and I want to catch up and contest for P1. Steve maintaining a 1 second lead ahead of Seamus here for P4 as Matthews maintaining a 1 second gap behind Brian. Everyone's running some consistent laps as Tyler puts down a 128. Now it looks like everyone's trying to use as much track as possible, even so much so as putting their left two tires onto the grass, get as much straight line speed as possible. All right, I think we've got enough gaps. As Elian says his personal best at a 22.5, I think that was faster than his last race. I think he ran a 22.6. I think so. So everyone here running some good laps. As David says his best lap at a 22.7. Steve runs his best lap at a 24.1. I think everyone's getting in the groove. Like that classic song. They're getting in the groove. They're setting their laps. Yeah. All right. And speaking of laps, let's take a look. Let's go down the order and see what we're working with. I'm going to go over everyone in their position so far and see what everyone's best lap time is because I love looking at best lap times. I love hot lapping. I love fast lap times. What can I say? So we do have a new top speed record of this track so far. Elian has set his top speed at 261 kilometers an hour. For those who don't know what a kilometer is, but know what miles are, I can't give you that into miles per hour. And we are seeing 162 miles per hour top speed from Elian tonight. He's the first guy tonight to run above 260 kilometers an hour. So I don't know if he had a setup change, but he's running a lot faster on the straights for sure. His fastest lap right now is a 1 minute 22.5, which sets him as the fastest lap of this race. We will see if Victor can contest that. We have 12 minutes to go. Oh my gosh, guys, we already have 12 minutes left of this race. Oh my goodness. We're more than halfway down with the race already. Oh my gosh. Victor only 1.5 seconds behind. Looks like Elian's pulling away a little bit from Victor. He's running, his fastest lap was a 22.7, so roughly 1.8 tenths off of Elian's fastest lap. David's right on the money with Victor's fastest lap at a 22.7 also, but a 22.79 versus Victor's 22.73. So only about 6 hundredths off from his fastest lap so far. He's about 6 seconds back, so he's maintaining the same pace that he was a few laps ago. 6 seconds away from Victor. Looks like Seamus is still staying pretty close to Steven here. Steven's been running in the mid to low 24s. His fastest lap is a 24.1. Seamus's was slightly faster at a 23.9 as he stays roughly half a second behind. And Elian sets a new personal best for himself at a 22.53. Sticking in the 22.5, so that sounds like we can give him a new title. We could call Elian Mr. Consistency tonight. Awesome lap times pulling so far. Seamus setting his new personal best at a 23.5. Looks like he's really trying to catch up to Steve here because Steve's last lap was a 24.2. Roughly 7. Seamus just ran 7 tenths faster, so I wonder if tires are playing a role. Seamus is running mediums. I wonder if the softs degrade a little too quickly here. Maybe it's running a little too hot there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. Only half a second away from Steven, though. We might see an upcoming battle here coming real soon. Let's keep it on the hood cam for now. As I'll keep a close eye on it as I keep going down the order. Let's go take a look at Brian. Brian is currently in P6 after missing the first couple weeks of the league. Doing a good job for missing a few weeks. He's still, I feel like this is his second race of the league. Oh no, I hear Steven had a contact. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Oh, I guess they just had a little tussle with each other. I don't know what happened there, but looks like Steven is still maintaining P4 though. Oh gosh, you know what? I just gotta keep it here. No, let's be fair. Let's be fair. Matthew's running in P7 with a 25.1, only 0.2 off Brian's fastest lap, so they can they might have a fight closer to the end. And Tyler here, rounding up the leaderboard with a 27.2 as his fastest lap. Not bad for your first time running it, Tyler. Good job. Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to keep it on Seamus and Steven here. I know we have some folks at home watching the race probably right now, so I want you to see your father running in action. Seamus tries his darndest to get ahead of Steven, but Steven's playing some really good defense, keeping it tight on the apex, making sure Seamus doesn't have any space to get around him. I mean, he can run. Seamus can go around the outside, but it's just so wide that it's not even beneficial. It's really hard to make a move on the outside on this track. These hairpins run so long that there's almost no point to running wide to get on the outside to overtake. Yeah, I think this is the battle to watch for race 2 tonight, folks. Everyone else is looking like they're getting into their own personal racing island here. If you think of Hawaii, we can have Elian as Maui. We could have Elian as Maui in his own little island, almost 4 seconds ahead of Victor. Victor can just be known as Oahu. David could be, I don't know, Kauai Island? And so on and so forth, you know? Everyone's running their own little bubble, their own little island. But Seamus is trying to pop that bubble, trying to pass Steve here, trying to overtake him. At the same time, looks like Elian is approaching his first bit of traffic. Let's see. I'll keep an eye on that to see if anything will happen there. It looks clean from what I'm seeing so far. But it looks like it looks like Elian is a little slowed down from from Tyler's line there. That does get Victor a little bit of time as his delta gets under 4 seconds. Elian does make the move on Tyler. He gets ahead. He's still close behind. I don't know. He's going to try to fight him. No. Understandable frustration coming from Elian. But he gets back ahead, keeps the inside. Tyler stays on the outside, and I think that outside line is going to make him lose some time. But no, he gets a solid exit. We're going to go back to Seamus here in P5. Still fighting Steven. I feel like Steven's had probably the hardest race of the night, having to defend off Seamus all night. As Brian says his personal best at a 124.9, getting below the 25s. Nice job, Brian. Good lap. We've got 6 minutes left in the grid here, folks. If things stand as it is right now, looks like Brian hit the environment slightly. Oh, it was a huge collision, and it forces Brian to get into the pits. Oh, no. Oh, he was running solid, too. He just ran his fastest lap. Oh, man. I hope it wasn't sim trouble. If Seamus runs a little wide, that'll give Steven some braking room. Braking room. Oh, my gosh. I'm thinking too much racing right now. He's getting some good breathing room there. Seamus looking to pull back ahead as Victor looks like he's going to pass Tyler now. The gap between Victor and Elian has increased back to over 4 seconds. So Elian, although frustrated at first from the lack of sportsmanship with the blue flag, maintains the lead. Tyler does overtake Brian as Brian does stay in the pits. I don't know what's going on there. I hope everything's okay there as Tyler runs a little wide, letting Matthew get away from him. And Matthew will maintain P6. Steven and Seamus are close behind each other. 6/10 off still. Like it's been pretty close. We've had instances where Seamus has been able to get about 3 2/10 off him, but Steven may have installed a wide body on his car because he's had some awesome defense for this race. If I'm at home and I'm cheering on Steven with the foam finger for first with the number 1 on it, I'd be cheering for him because this is some awesome defense that Steven's putting up tonight. Looks like Brian unfortunately might drop out of the race after a huge collision, I believe, going into turn 1. But he did put up some solid laps. He put a 24.9. That's faster than a few people, a couple other people in the race tonight. So for someone that probably doesn't know this track, you did a good job, Brian. I'm sorry about the ending there. I'm praying that it wasn't a sim issue still. 3.5 minutes left on the grid here. Seamus still roughly half a second back. They're running so close. They're running really similar lap times. Both of their last laps between Steve and Seamus, in order, Steve ran a 24.2, Seamus ran a 23.9. So basically 2 3/10 off each other. They're like neck and neck on times. Seamus gets a little excited, gets really close to Steven's back, and it looks like he's going to get a little bit of draft here to Steven. Gets his car a little bit on the inside. He's thinking about making the move there, but keeps it on the inside. Maybe prepping for this long left-hander here. Maybe trying to get a better exit here. Gets a little late on the throttle, which lets Steven get about 3/10 more ahead. So they're maintaining a half a second gap on each other. The front of the grid here looks like it's stabilized. It has stabilized. We got Victor running 6 seconds off of Elian. Looks like Elian, I don't know, Elian may have taken a look at Victor's setup or something. I don't know. Maybe he's slow his setup or something. As Seamus tries to peek his little hood up Steven's exhaust going onto the last hairpin of the course. But as we've been seeing all night, these hairpins are so wide and so long that there's almost no benefit to trying to overtake from the outside. Overtaking opportunities are really hard on this track unless you're like a 10th off and you try to take a dive on the inside. That's what I'm seeing tonight. As the gap maintains between 3 and 6/10 between these two. These guys have been the highlight of the night in my opinion. Awesome clean racing. Super close as Seamus maintains the inside line, only 3/10 off of him now. But he runs a little hard going into the close right, and that will compromise him. He might be thinking about it a little too much as he gets a slightly late exit going on that left there. As it stands now, it looks like we're going to have Elian in P1, Victor in P2, David in P3, Steven and Seamus, I don't know. This race is still going on. We don't know yet, but P4 and 5 as it stands. Matthew, Tyler, and Brian will wrap up the last 3 spots of this grid order here. Philip, I'm so sorry. I've been blabbering. I did see your message. Underrated part of the live stream is Hugo singing. I hope you guys enjoyed my little singing there. If you guys enjoyed the singing, please leave a like. Maybe subscribe, and you might hear some more of my singing. I hope it was angelic as I thought it may have been. As we have 30 seconds left here in the race. I wonder, I feel like Elian might have enough time to get one more lap in. He's got 25 seconds left. He still needs to get through the last hairpin. 20 seconds left? I don't know. This is going to be close. I'm going to keep my eye. No, let's keep it on Seamus. Elian looks like he's securing P1 unless he makes a really big mistake here. He's got 10 seconds left. He's going to run 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Let's look at Elian. 1. He's on the last lap. All right. That'll be it. Elian is going to cross the line here, and that should be P1. Elian did win the race with a 4-second gap. Very comfortable lead against Victor this time, which surprisingly, Elian unlocked the pace needed to get in, stay ahead of Victor this race. Congrats to you, Elian. Victor, good job finishing second. David in third. Seamus and Steven coming up on the last couple turns here. Seamus couldn't make the move stick, and Steven is going to have a nice P4 finish. Seamus wiggling his wheel, maybe a little frustrated with the P5, but I know they're going to be happy with that awesome battle they had with each other. Matthew, as it stands, will finish P6. Tyler in P7. I think he's seeing that everyone else finishes like, all right, good race. And Brian here will finish P8. Congrats to all the drivers tonight. I think between this and the first race I think this was probably the cleanest racing that we've had. So that will conclude the fourth race of this league. Tune in next week. Are we running next week? I think the last race of the season will be at Watkins Glen at 8 o'clock. I think it's next Monday, but I will put a live stream schedule. I will put a schedule for this live stream for the last week of the season. So congrats to our top three, Elian, Victor, and David on the second race. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the race tonight. I will see you guys on the last race. Thank you guys.
Ow.